Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Teddy Lyle, and this is my queen.
Lydia Lyle.
And we are the founders of Marriage Harmony Incorporated. Lydia and I have been married for 22 years. And I got to tell you, 7 years into our marriage, God worked some miracles in our lives. And ever since then, we decided to take our ministry to another level.
Mm-hmm.
We got certified as marriage educators. And what do we do, baby?
Well, basically, the bottom line is we help couples. Um, I love when we're helping couples when they're doing premarital education and when they're contemplating is the best time when they're contemplating marriage. Now, sometimes we'll get them when they're already set the date,
Yes.
but
We prefer you to come before that.
yes.
So we just don't, condone what you've already decided.
Right. But we enjoy helping marriages thrive. To have healthy marriages, that's what we enjoy doing. And we go by not only the education portion, what we've experienced and some of what our friends have experienced. And
Right. We keep it real.
Absolutely.
We keep
the
it
good,
real.
the bad, the ugly, everything.
That's right.
So
For this month, we're going to be focusing our attention on affirmation. All right. And we have divided up affirmation into two main segments. We're talking about verbal
and nonverbal.
and nonverbal. And today, we're going to talk about the first section of affirmation. And before we get into what exactly that is, let's look at the definition.
Okay.
All right. The definition of affirmation, it's a declaration of the truth about something. Right? It's emotional support and encouragement.
That's
So
true.
when you are affirming someone, you're giving them encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving them emotional support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in the context of marriage, this is so essential.
Yes.
This is so essential.
Some examples of that would be even love notes.
Mm-hmm.
If your spouse or I guess not everybody is married yet because we have different people,
Mm-hmm.
watching. But that would be something to leave a love note or even just through text, send a little nice text message, appreciation. It could be appreciation for making me dinner, appreciation for making lunch. I love you.
I look forward to coming home tonight.
Exactly. I love it when you say that. I miss you. Just different things that just they're complimentary.
So let's talk about compliments then.
Okay.
Okay. Why is it important to give your spouse compliments? Well, this is your soulmate. And you want your soulmate to know and understand that you are their number one fan.
Mm-hmm.
You want your compliments to come from me first.
Okay.
All right. Ever so often, you may leave home and someone give you a compliment, and you're wondering, well, didn't my spouse see that my hair is beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Did my spouse see that I'm wearing a nice dress?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't my spouse know that I smell good? Why would I need to hear that affirmation from someone else
Before hearing it from
before
yeah.
hearing it from your spouse? And so compliments should always be almost second nature.
Yeah. I remember earlier on in our marriage, maybe the second year, maybe like really early on. And that was one of the things you shared with me. And that was so my husband always smells good. And so, but he brought it to my attention that a lady from his job, I think it was.
I think it was a supermarket.
Okay, maybe it was a supermarket. Yeah, because I would have been trying to figure out what lady it was, and I don't remember. So it must have been from the supermarket, not your job, because I would have had to come up there looking cute. Yeah. Okay, that's
Okay.
focus. I need to focus. I'm
Yes, back to
sorry.
the
I'm
story.
sorry. Back to the story. But whether it was a lady at the supermarket, what he said to me was, oh, well, first, the lady says, you smell good. Well, later on that night, and Teddy and I were, for whatever reason, that particular time, we were not gelling that particular day. I don't think I was mad at him, but I didn't feel good about whatever the situation was. And he says to me, it's sad that I have to hear from other women about how good I smell. That,
Did I say it like that?
yes, you did. Yes,
That don't even sound like me.
yes.
That,
And then he went on to say, and my wife doesn't even tell me how good I smell. Um, so, I popped off at the mouth. I was younger and not taking responsibility of that. I diverted it and went into, the way you said it and don't tell me that and all that kind of stuff. But the truth of the matter is, I never forgot that. I never forgot that because it let me know that you wanted to hear from me that you smell good. And it didn't matter about what other women said. He wanted to hear from his wife. That always, and to this day, that's why I can tell you guys what 22 years later,
that's right.
that
But at
situation,
least we talked about it.
we
It may
did.
not have been, how we talked about it the right kind of way, but we talked about it.
Right.
And now you got the message. And
Yeah.
um, so give.
And I tell him, he smells good. I tell him.
Glory, hallelujah. Give compliments. Give compliments.
Yes.
If she's wearing a nice dress, let her know.
Absolutely.
If
Yeah.
I'm wearing a nice suit, I know you. I'd like to know that.
Yes.
Women like to get their hair done. When she comes from the beauty shop, that should be the first thing off the top of your lips. Ooh, your hair looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, don't get caught in the trap because occasionally a woman will say, "Do I look fat in this outfit?" We know some women. Men, don't get caught in that trap. All right. Always say, "Baby, you look beautiful in whatever you wear." Men, take my advice. Right.
So you're saying that because now I really do look fat, huh? And you
No,
just
baby.
don't want to hurt my feelings. No, I'm
No.
just joking.
That's one of the questions that it's a
I'm just
trap. It's
joking.
a trap.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just
And so
joking.
give good compliments. One of the things that I like is shoes. I have a shoe fetish,
Yeah, he loves shoes.
and I like compliments on my shoes. You know, and however, there's some compliments that we should avoid giving.
Okay.
So they're like some backhand kind of
Oh,
compliments.
yes, yes, yes.
Like for instance, I like when you cook me a nice meal,
Okay.
and I'll always tell you how good it tastes,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, it was so good going down, baby. I just love it. However, there's another compliment that I,
A
you know,
backhanded one.
backhanded compliment would be like, well, the food was good. It gave me indigestion today. You know, thanks for the heartburn.
Oh. Thanks for the
The heartburn.
heartburn. See, that's definitely
And
you
you know,
don't want to do things like that because then the whole first part of saying I
you enjoy
enjoyed
the
the
food.
dinner or I enjoyed the
That's
lunch or
right.
whatever is out the window because now all she's focusing on is
Heartburn.
heartburn, indigestion, whatever,
Gas.
gas, and everything else that's on there. She's not focusing on he appreciated because now it's turned to he's not appreciative.
That's right.
All the time I took, and he's not appreciative. So,
So that's one compliment that you probably should avoid giving.
mhm,
If it's not going to be genuine or if it has an alternate message other than something positive, stay away from it, guys.
yeah, that's true. We generally, would you say women like compliments more than men?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that men probably don't require it as much, but I think we enjoy it just as much.
Okay.
I'm not going to go around looking for a compliment every day, but when I get it, especially from you, oh, it means a lot.
Okay. Okay. So who else be complimenting you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
A conversation after this session, huh?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, all right.
Sounds like
I'm just joking, you guys. But you know, generally speaking, they mean a lot. And for those people who say, "Well, I love you," you know that. I don't have to tell you that every day. But it's not about you. It's about your spouse.
That's right.
It's about feeding the need of your spouse. So if your spouse needs to hear, "I love you, I appreciate, I adore you," um, if your spouse needs to hear those words, it's your responsibility to feed that, to give it to them. It makes no sense for them to hear it from other people when they crave it from their loved one, the one they're married to for life. When you go into marriage, you're not thinking, "Oh, this is just a couple of weeks." You
No,
go in thinking this is for life initially.
that's right.
So you wanna have those compliments and that good feeling coming from your spouse than from other people, but just period, just from your spouse.
And I know you've heard it before that tone is everything. So even though you may be giving one message, your tone might be giving another message.
Mhm.
So if I tell you, I love you,
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm saying the right words, but my tone is harsh.
Mhm.
So you don't feel love,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Right.
And so temper your compliments with a good tone.
Right.
Temper your compliments with a smile,
Absolutely.
with a positive attitude,
Yes.
you know.
It goes a long way. It makes a big difference.
That's right. Um, let's talk a little bit more about praising,
Okay.
all right? Um, what's the difference between praising and giving a compliment?
Is there a difference?
I think there is.
What? Praising is a warm expression of approval of something that someone did. Okay.
That's right.
Mm, okay.
So you see, that's not necessarily
A compliment.
a compliment by itself, you know, but it is a compliment in some kind of way. But it's different when you're praising somebody. It's almost like you're putting them on a pedestal. You're saying um, stuff like, you are number one.
Okay.
You know, and you are the best.
Okay. But it all pertains to something that somebody did.
Did right.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you are the best.
At
You are
whatever it
number
is.
one.
Yeah. Hmm.
I am the best kisser. You are the best kisser. So that's
Gotcha.
so that's not just a compliment. I'm pouring into you some praise that you know um,
Yeah.
great affirmation.
Yeah.
Great affirmation.
Well, I think we better close out this session because we have another one for next week. I don't want us to run out of time, but next week we're going to be talking about
Encouragement.
encouragement.
That's right.
We're still on verbal. We're going to be talking about verbal encouragement next Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Be there.
Rare Ministries.
Rare Ministries. Now, if you're watching this program on Rare Ministries, please like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
If you're watching on the platform of Marriage Harmony Incorporated, we ask that you like and subscribe as well.
Yes.
Go to the websites and see how you can support this ministry.
Absolutely.
Until next week, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Teddy and Lydia, for your testimonies and the information you shared with us today. And I just have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you guys. You talked about compliments. And is this something that you learned, or is this something you grew into the knowledge of? If you could, please share with both of you an instance where you learned the importance of giving compliments or not giving compliments, if you could.
I think I grew up being affirmed. You know, my parents were proud of me whenever I did well in school. They made sure that they complimented me.
Mhm.
You know, However, getting married, there's some things you have to learn. Living by yourself and having that relationship with your siblings and so on is totally different.
Mhm.
And so you have to know what makes your wife tick, all right? And so um, you want to gear your compliments to things that you know is going to affirm her. So I'm not going to compliment her on something that she might not care too much about. If I know she has put time and effort into dinner, then I'm going to gear my compliments to that. You know, and not something. Oh, by the way, last week when you did so and so, you were pretty good at it. It has to be relevant and has to be in the now. You don't want it to
Mhm.
sit and for too. It doesn't come across as being genuine.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn, um, you know, to do things timely. You know, because us men, oh, we go with, oh, by the way, you know, and it's too late. It's too late. What about you, babe?
Well, I think my example I gave earlier of not letting you know, when you smelled good. I had to learn that, and that was based on him. And I think that plays off of communication because you don't know what really makes your spouse feel good until you have that conversation. So now at that time I didn't know, but when I found out, that's what he wanted from me because I was like, you smell good. You put on cologne every day. I mean, you gotta smell good, right? And he said, but that's not the same. I don't even know if you like the smell of the cologne. He said, I don't
No.
I don't know. You may think this cologne stinks.
And that's a fact because I grew up liking a fragrance obsession. So winter fragrance. And my wife can't stand the way it smells on me. So
I
guess
know.
what? I don't wear obsession anymore. I don't care if somebody else likes it or not. The bottom line is that I want to compliment my wife. So when her compliments of me, of how I smell, is genuine. So if I'm loving on her and pleasing her by even the way I smell, I know that when she compliments me, it's genuine.
Thank you both. I have one last question, and this is for Lydia. In your words, why do you think it is important for a woman to hear compliments from her husband? Why do you think that's important?
Uh, let me think. Let me think. I think it's important because most women want to feel that um, they're number one in their husband's eyes. They want to feel that because I mean it's hard when you have beautiful women out there with and see you have to keep in mind women, it doesn't even matter what a man says. Women think other women's bodies are beautiful in terms of I wish I had that body. I wish my stomach was flat like hers. Or I wish I had a big butt like hers. Or I wish I women go through all of this that it doesn't matter if a man says it or not. This is what women, that's why women try to, oh, I need to work out because she has a great body. I want my body to look like that. So therefore, um, when you have a husband, you don't want him focused on all these beautiful bodies out there, So when he compliments you, it makes us feel good. And I'm like you asked me, I'm only speaking for me. I know it's a lot of women out there. You have different opinions. That's fine. That's okay. But when um, I know that my husband compliments me. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel that I'm number one. It makes me feel that no matter what's going on, no matter how many women he may see throughout the day, he wants to come home to me. He wants to see me. And so that makes me feel good. It just reassures me of his love. That's what it reassures me. So so that those verbal affirmations are important. So when he says, and sometimes he doesn't even say anything, it's a look that he gives me, and he'll go, mm, and he's shaking his head. I know what that looks mean, and that makes me feel good. And I'm like, hey, I've had two babies, I put on weight, but he still thinks I'm cute. you know,
Got,
you
got
know,
that right.
I still, he thinks something's still good in me. You know what I'm saying? So it just feels good. And so I can't speak for all women, but it is important when he calls me beautiful, or, he calls other women beautiful too. He calls my mom beautiful and his sister's beautiful and everything. But it means a little bit different when he calls me beautiful.
Thank you both very much. And this concludes this first session. So thank you again.